boo, boo da ba doo da bum, bum doo da ba boo da bum. Just release, man. Just release, man. Oh, just release, man. Just release, man. Just release, man. Oh, just release me. Just release me. Just release me. Oh, just release me. Yeah. Just release with Andre Wade once again. Come to reminisce about some things that has taken place in my life. So much that be spoken on just release is what took place in my life. Things that I wanted to do while being in prison and come and share with people that appreciate and understand the life that I went through and the same life in its way that they going through. Because we all go through some of the same things. And what take place of knowledge of us becoming knowledgeable of why we went through it, we all come up with the same answer. But I pray peace upon y'all families today. I pray peace upon those who are incarcerated, men, women, and teenagers. They always have to have our prayers out here. See, we can pray for those who are incarcerated without them even knowing it. Without them even knowing it. So, during the day, or during any time of your relaxed time, let's give prayer to those who are incarcerated. And now, when we talk about incarcerated, now we can mean in the walls or confinement or incarcerated even out here in society of ourselves. But my title today is, see, a frame of mind you have that when you get locked up at the beginning, you don't have when you become released from prison. So if it's something that you gained that was helpful for you in prison, then that same thing that you gained in prison that helped you or help you out in society. Some of us, we didn't have education coming into prison. But when we left prison, we had more education than we had coming in. So the more education that you gain, the more understanding your mind frame become of life. And we utilize that. Some of us. Some of us, we get out and we do something totally opposite of what our mind frame had us doing in prison, which kept us out of trouble, which kept us from being in trouble at any time. Because the mind frame you had at that time was to focus your life in doing spiritual things in the church, in prison, going to school and education, gaining education. So much was your mind frame had while doing time. And getting out of prison, you still had that mind frame. You still had that mind frame that you wanna do better in life. And sometimes when we get out of prison, there's a struggle. Some of us go through struggles. Some of us have a platform waiting on us with support. And you can't help but thank God for that. You don't thank your supporters so much, but you give so much thanks to God that it was allowed for you to be just released to something that you didn't have to struggle through. Being mindful, having the mind frame of utilizing what took place in your life after prison. Because see, just because you get out, don't mean you'll get out and stay out. Anything could click your thoughts. Anything can alter your way of thinking in society, just like in prison. Prison, you can be doing real good, but something take place that makes you click and find yourself in sin because of you falling back into self where you was at one time a fool. But something took place in your life and change came about. The way you think, that's that mind frame that built up not so much in your mind but also in your heart. It was some things you was believing in. It was some things that you was trusting, and you was able to see it. You was able to see it. So when you seen it, change took control, and a better person was being built inside of prison. Because when you came to prison, they had a title on you. That title was you was a threat to society. Oh man, hey, I'm being blessed this morning. I'm being blessed, man. I was blessed to wake up, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that because I thought about the video that was did last night with my family member and friend, and there was something I wanted to do, right, and I had opportunity to do it, and I pray that the people that watches my channel, people that's done lost loved ones through violence, or lost loved ones while doing time, or something that you just want to share with the people that you just released. And uh, because this has to be openly discussed, because okay, all right, yeah, yeah, that's what we need to do. But a lot of things has to be spoken by the people that know how it feel to lose someone to the prison system or to death. And we don't get a chance to express that. We don't get a chance to openly talk about how we feel and how we felt at that time, because losing someone, mama, hey, I'm doing video. Okay, go talk to her. And it's something so much to be mindful of because of what took in place in our life at the time. Excuse me. Mhm. At the time, we experienced whatever it was that took us in a state of shock. Because if you have a child, right, what I mean about a state of shock, you can have all the you can have all the excuse me. Excuse me. Would y'all take that in the kitchen because I can hear y'all. Thank you. Now, I'm going to show y'all something. But I ask y'all about your mind frame after prison. These are some enjoyments that I like. Let me get this here for y'all, right? That's the salad. That's the Dre Dog salad. That is a Dre Dog salad. This is a Dre Dog salad, people. Something I really enjoy. I love salads. And you can make, and listen, I have Italian dressing up on this bad boy. Ain't no French dressing, and ain't no all that other stuff. This is Italian dressing because Italian salad dressing brings this kind of salad out. Ain't no lettuce. We got some tomatoes, two types of tomatoes. We got onions, we got celery, we got cucumber and pickles. Somebody probably said, "Well, what is he eating?" But it's the mixture of what you really like. And this salad brings something to me today. See, I'm happy to be free, right? And I'm happy to be free. And but I'm so happy that I was able to get up and go into the kitchen and fix me something that I really like. See, if you go to prison, people, if you go to prison, you ain't gonna be able to put nothing like this together. You ain't gonna be able to put nothing like this together. You're gonna miss that. And if you get life, oh Lord, if you get life, people, you're not only gonna miss this, you're gonna miss those who love you so much. You're gonna miss so much of life, of other people that you love. But this is the thing. I told you when you tell somebody about Just Release, tell them hit that like button. Tell them hit that like button. Cause ain't no telling what I might come back with next. But you can bet the show. I'm gonna come back with something. I'm gonna come back with something because it's some viewers that wait on me daily to bring something. And I don't want my viewers so much as going to hear and view old videos. I want you to have something on a daily basis because I got something to express, right? I got something to talk about because I've been through it. I've been through it a lot. But I know you have too. You have too. And some of us is looking for answers from other people. They're looking for answers in spiritual places. And some of us end up with the answer in a grocery store, meeting somebody that went through something that you are already going through right now. And we gain it off of these kind of channels. But I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful because I have something to give to people that want to receive it. They want to listen to it. And I want to let y'all know now. See, last night after I did my video, I had a phone call from one of my viewers. And the viewer is from one of my biggest fan bases, cities here in the state of Texas. Tomball. Giving it all up to Tomball. Giving it all up to Tomball today. Yeah. Shouts out to Tomball. And she want to do a video. I mean, she want to do an interview, right? Well, we planning to bring her to Just Release. We planning for her to be on Just Release. But I would like to do this interview in Tomball. So if you're out of Tomball and you're watching my channel, so you'll know this. We're gonna bring Just Release to Tomball. We're gonna bring Just Release to Tomball. And when the time comes for her and I to get together and place a date for this interview, then Tomball Just Release fans will hear about it. And y'all will be invited to that video if you freely want to come. If you freely want to come, because what could take place that day, you can get an interview too. Yeah. I told you, when you tell somebody about just release, tell them hit that like button. Tell them hit that like button. Because ain't no telling what I might come back with next. Because I told you, this ain't about Andre Wade. God got just release. God got just release. See, there are some people that watches my video, right? That's spiritually inclined. And I say that because that's me. And see, I can't refuse to acknowledge that in my videos, because I'm asked it. How? I'm asked the questions, all kind of questions. How did I make it doing all those years? See, you can say by lifting weights. You can say by going to school. You can say anything physically that took place while you made it out of prison. But my release was due by prayer. By prayer and recognizing the change that God placed it in my life when I needed it so. Because see, if I trusted myself, even by doing time and even out here, if I trust myself, see, myself got me in penitentiary from the beginning. And self can lead you the wrong way. But when you praying to the God you love and you trust his decisions and you trust and know that he answers your prayers, see, he gonna guide you in the right place, in the right at the right time. And that's trusting. That's having faith in your God. Because I gave mine to God at the beginning when I was given 45, three of them. Three aggravated 45s ran together, ran CC. I gave it to God right then in court. I gave it to him. And even though I had given it to him at that time and I'd done all them years, that's because I kept relying on self in prison. I kept relying on self instead of relying on God. That's what I was doing. See, when we learn to rely on God, he get us through some crazy things that we feel that we'll never get through. And I'm talking to the people right now that have loved ones that's incarcerated and you don't see freedom for them. So you can't see freedom. Mm. Okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that knowledge. I appreciate that knowledge. And because a lot of things has to be corrected, and when people see that something is not right, and that's what a person's supposed to do. He's supposed to enlighten the next person of the mistake that he's done, and not just hold it and allow the other people that's critics that's not having the same outlook as the other ones. Then you're supposed to do that, give correction. I appreciate that. Thank you. And but what as I was saying is that the mind frame you have to have. The mind frame that you have to have while doing time is up to you. Because my mind frame not be the same as yours at all. So the mind frame that you have is or could gain is what was taught to you when you before you was doing crime, before you was using drugs, or whatever it was that hindered you to go to court and receive such a long sentence. See, because we was taught some good things in our life before we became criminals, or before we became criminal minded. See, maybe some of us didn't have that opportunity. Maybe some of us, it was just inbred within us through family members. But there's more people that received goodness and good things in their life before they made up their mind to become criminal minded. But when you went to prison, something changed. Something took place in your life that made you make up your mind and change the way you was thinking. Because if you'd have kept thinking in the way you was thinking when you came, then you would still had that title on you, that red threat to society. And with that title, it's hard to make parole. So you have to allow and do something in your life to make the same people that place that title on you change that title. Because that's what God does. God makes man change things. God made man change their decisions that they thought they had last night for the man the next day. An awesome God. An awesome God. And he'll free us of anything that hinders us when we are sincerely giving it to him through prayer. Hey, I told you, when you tell somebody about Just Release, tell them hit that like button. Tell them hit that like button. Because there are some things that takes place on this channel you may not feel is right. But there's a whole of people feel totally different. They have the totally different look of Just Release. Because I give our shots out to prison channels, right? Ain't no bias in my heart towards these channels, because these men that does these channels, these prison channels, they experience something in their life through going to prison. And when a prisoner can come out and tell the public or tell the world on what took place in his life while doing time, that's not easy to do, people. That's not easy to do. That's why you don't have 1,000 prison channels. Because, see, a man can get out of prison with the mind frame of doing something for the men that's still locked up. But don't do it. Don't do it. Go a different way than the mind frame he had by being just released. I knew that any time that I had an opportunity to speak out for the men and women and the teenagers that's being incarcerated, I was going to do it. I was going to do it. And God allowed me to be able to speak out. And I might not be sounding like nothing to a lot of people, but I got over 400 videos of talking about spiritual things, incarcerated things, and anything that comes to my heart, because this ain't about me. I tell you that. God got Just Released. God got Just Released, people. Now you feel that you have your channel, or whatever channel you may have, or whatever you're doing in life, you may feel that it's you. And ain't nothing wrong with that, because you have a choice to feel that way. But if you praying to a God that you love, then you have to give him all praises for whatever he's doing in your life. That's good. Yeah, I told you, when you tell somebody about Just Release, tell me hit that like button. Tell me hit that like button. Because ain't no telling what I might come back with next. But guess what? I'm going to come back with something.